Aries. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Aries may exhibit a cautious attitude today, especially in speech and actions within the workplace. You may feel more sensitive to the emotions of others, prompting you to avoid conflicts rather than engage in arguments. If you happen to say something inappropriate, you're quick to take responsibility and correct it. Your diligence will yield positive results, but be mindful of exhaustion and becoming overly meticulous. In matters of the heart, a tinge of jealousy or doubt may surface. Stay calm and avoid jumping to conclusions. Financially, you're unlikely to fall for uncertain promises, choosing instead to protect what you've worked hard for. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Taurus. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Taurus may exhibit a calm resolve and a quiet but firm inner strength today. You may not immediately reveal your stance, but when the time comes to speak, you will do so with full conviction. At work, you prefer to have control over your decisions and won't tolerate interference from others. You're true to your word, and when you make a promise, you ensure it's fulfilled. In love, you dislike sudden or fickle behavior, so you choose to engage only with people you can trust. Financially, you are wise and cautious, resisting emotional impulses especially when it comes to lending money. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Gemini. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Gemini may show understanding and composure today, especially within the home and around loved ones. You prefer to stay away from meaningless chatter, opting instead for quiet focus on your tasks. At work, your seriousness will stand out, and you'll steer clear of gossip or intrigue. If confronted by someone with an unpleasant attitude, you may feel irritated, but instead of lashing out, you'll choose to walk away. You're also not quick to express your emotions. You prefer to observe first before placing your trust. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Cancer. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Cancer may display a quiet, observant, and cautious demeanor in interactions with others today. You dislike conflict and complications, so you'll likely avoid meaningless conversations. You don't readily open up your emotions. Instead, you assess others' intentions before placing trust. At work, you aim for orderly and detailed completion of tasks and dislike having to revisit errors. In love, you choose to believe but are not blind to reality, so you don't allow yourself to be easily swayed by emotions. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Leo. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Leo may demonstrate boldness and direct conviction today, especially in financial matters and decision-making. You won't allow yourself to be fooled or swayed by others' opinions when you know you're right. At work, you move with great energy, though you may find yourself irritated by show-offs or boastful colleagues, so you'll prefer to avoid them. Within the family, you may have a dominant tendency today, so try to give space to others' opinions to prevent conflict. You're not a fan of empty promises. You'd rather show your intentions through actions than words. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Virgo. According to the signs given by the movements of nature, Virgo may show discipline and seriousness in all tasks today. You are naturally caring toward family and dislike leaving responsibilities unmet. Everything you promise, you strive to fulfill, in order to preserve trust and harmony. At work, you hold yourself to high standards and expect the same from others, so impulsive behavior or carelessness does not sit well with you. You also avoid yelling or tension. You value mutual respect and quiet cooperation. You're willing to work hard and dedicate time to ensure everything is in order. And remember, the works of nature are beyond measure. Things may come unexpectedly, so always stay vigilant. Libra. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Libra may be generosity in both feelings and thoughts. You are the kind of person who knows how to bring light into silence. It's natural for you to get along with different types of people, but you also know how to set boundaries when needed. At work, you don't accept laziness as an excuse. You believe that every task can be accomplished with effort and patience. At home, you are the one who fosters unity, understanding the silence of others and giving strength to unspoken worries. You don't waste time meddling in senseless conversations because you value the peace brought by a calm heart. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious. Scorpio. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Scorpio may be the strengthening of your quiet resolve. You don't easily get carried away by emotions. Instead, you prioritize logic and long-term perspective. At work, you take every step seriously and dislike impulsive decisions. You know that success is shaped by patience and focus. At home, you are the pillar of silence, not loud, but your presence is deeply felt. When problems arise, you choose to solve them behind the scenes, in ways that may be unseen but are surely effective. You dislike people who talk a lot but do little. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious. Sagittarius. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Sagittarius may be the expansion of perspective and understanding. You are naturally a dreamer, but not just a dreamer. You have the courage to pursue your goals with sincerity and compassion. You dislike repetitive, meaningless things, as you see life as a journey meant to be filled with lessons and purpose. At work, you quickly adapt to change, and you understand that every idea matters when expressed clearly. At home, you are cheerful but also wish for your space to be respected. You know that not everything should be forced, and some things are best nurtured when left to their natural flow. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious. Capricorn. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Capricorn may be the deepening of self-discipline. You are quiet but full of determination. You are not the type to speak much, but when you do, your words carry weight. At work, you are meticulous and refuse to leave any task unfinished. You don't seek the spotlight, but you're always the one relied upon to get things done. At home, you are caring, willing to make sacrifices even without expecting recognition. You know how to give way for the greater good. Financially, you live simply but build your stability through perseverance and wise decisions. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious. Aquarius. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Aquarius may be fairness in both words and actions. You naturally care about the well-being of others, but you don't let your kindness be taken advantage of. At work, you stand by your principles. You don't go with the flow if you know it's not right. You know how to listen, not just to respond, but to truly understand. At home, you are a peacemaker who knows when to be humble if needed. Financially, you are not wasteful but know how to spend on meaningful things. You keep your plans quiet, but when it's time to act, you're all in. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious. Pisces. According to the signs brought by the movement of nature, today's trait for Pisces may be the deepening of humble emotions. You don't need loud words to be noticed. Your silence holds the power of deep understanding. You are naturally creative and observant, using these gifts not just for yourself but to help those around you. At work, you are careful with your actions and dislike people who always make excuses. At home, you show affection without expecting anything in return. You understand that not all love needs to be shouted. Sometimes, quiet gestures with sincerity are enough. When hurt, you don't hold grudges easily, but you don't forget either. You prefer to stay quiet rather than argue. And remember, the work of nature is unmatched. Its arrival is often sudden, so always choose to be cautious.